Now, every year, the European Commission publishes a report called the Annual Monitoring Report. Now, as an advisor, this has to be your Bible. That's where you find how many proposals were submitted, what success rates were, and so on. It's a 252-page document. Now, inside that document, there was a little paragraph that said the following. It said, when we analyse the organisations that are very successful in Horizon 2020, they seem to have three main characteristics. The first one, they're brilliant science. Now, that's an obvious one. But the second one, they know the process. They know the game. They understand how to put in the forms, how the evaluation process works, and so on. And the third one, which is good for you, they have a good support service. So there's a nice slide to present to your directors coming directly from the Commission's own analysis. Now let's use that as my starting point, and my closing slide will actually be that slide with a little bit of an addition put out to it. Now when I go into centres, they say, how do we win a collaborative project? Now ERC, you submit proposals on your own, but the main message people like us who train people is, you have the best science, best consortium, you know how to write the impact part of the proposal, you know how to fill in the forms, and you win the money. And that seems to be it. Now, Mr. Moedas said something very interesting a few weeks ago. He said that Europe is very good at funding and forgetting. Sometimes we hear somebody won 4.7 million, that's the last we hear of the project. It's as if the project is funded, it's over. No, that should be the beginning of the process. Now, if you look at the top research centres, and you know who you are, you know, it's not about winning money, it's about this. It's all about the world ranking. It's about, we need the money to get science. Now, when I speak to directors, I ask a question that knocks them off the chair. Is it money for science, or is it science for money? You know, most directors, they're using science to get money, rather than using money to produce the best science. So if it's not about excellent science, then all you're doing is hunting money. The second thing is your reputation. You know, if you're a scientist, your university wants to be known on the international level, again from a rankings point of view. Now, it's not about writing impact, it's about having real and visible impact. You know, and if a scientist says to you, how do I write impact? You should say to them, maybe your project has no impact. If you do something that has no impact, that's a hobby. You know, so try that one with the scientist the next time. Maybe it has no impact and you'll see the reaction to it. But these universities want to have a real and visible impact. And the other thing is, they want a professional support service. And I think that's what EARMA is about. Now that's exactly the slide I present to rectors of universities, and sometimes you can see them, their eyes opening, and now it's so obvious, but you know, somebody putting it on a simple slide. Now, so you can see already the difference between getting money and having a long-term strategy for the university. Now, I did a little bit of analysis, and I got this from the QS World Ranking. I just picked the first 1, 2, 3, the first 6 randoms in the first 10. And you can see a lot of the UK ones. Now, my Celtic blood, I had to put down Scotland, I didn't put down the UK, so, and Switzerland, and those were the ranking. And then I looked at the ranking of Horizon 2020, and it's nearly a direct match. So they're not winning money because they're from the UK or Switzerland, they're winning it because they're the best. So what I did in it is I took the top 50 I took the THE ranking here because I had this easily for the same year. Now, a top university is one in ranking, one in funding, and so on. And you can see a linear relationship that the amount of funding you're winning is related to the excellence of the science. So people saying that, oh, it's all the Germans and the British are winning the funding. No, it's the best scientists are winning the funding. So if you're from Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, whatever, you must first get the science right. It's not a subsidy, you know, so it's about funding excellent science. Now, there are a few outliers in this, and I have to mention one at Trinity College, Dublin. I think it's 108 or something in the ranking, but you're number 21 in the funding. So sometimes you can find universities who have lower down the ranking, but higher up in the funding. That says a lot about the support service of that particular university. And then there's a few universities who are very high in the ranking, but practically don't appear in the funding. You know, but generally you're kind of saying having the best science is step number one into winning the funding. Now, I also looked at the research centres, and your CNRS, Fraunhofer, CA, all of an interesting one there is IMET in Belgium, small country, and it's number 9. So it's not just the big countries, and you'll find all of these people in an organisation called EARMA. They all hang out together in the same organisation, and so on. Now, when I go into universities, this is something I've noticed. And this is the kind of analysis, if I was your director and I was saying to you, I want a report on the distribution of the funding within the university, sometimes we find that most of the money comes from 3 groups. And there might be another few groups who win projects. Now, these are quotations, I didn't put in the name of the university, but one university told me that 50% of the money that comes from Horizon 2020 comes from 3 research groups. And another one, 80% coming from 6 research groups. That's not a good strategy. You know, if one of those groups is busy, that means your performance. So what I say to universities, this is a far better strategy. It's better to have one project from 50 groups rather than all the projects from 3 groups. So again, I'm not sure how many of you do this kind of analysis. And, you know, people said we don't participate in European projects. And you must ask the question, is academic freedom freedom to do nothing? That's not what freedom means. Freedom means freedom of thought, you know. So when somebody doesn't participate, and they could participate, I as a director would be asking serious questions.